Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer. Race number 10 at Woodbine on a star-studded Saturday afternoon card is the Woodbine Oaks. $500,000 is the purse. Let's take a look at this field of three-year-old fillies getting set to go 9 furlongs over the Tapeta surface. The number 8 Lasting Union, 5-2 on the morning line. Well, she's never raced on Tapeta. The horse she's going to have to beat, in my opinion, and the horse that might end up being the favorite at post time is Kripins Voyage, multiple stakes winner on this surface.
Yeah, on this surface, the distance is no problem for her, and she's third off the layoff now. I sort of agree with you. I kind of felt like she might be favored at post time, but we'll see how that all plays out.
Mike, I think there's a ton of speed in this race. I agree with the Timeform US Pace Projectors red bar designation. I'm not sure Pilot Episode, the stretch out sprinter, is going to be the one making the running. I can see Mizzenbow. I can see Lasting Union. I can certainly see Infinite Patience being quarter horsed out of there. I think that's her best chance.
Yeah, I agree with you. Listen, I don't want to try to predict who's going to be on the lead in here because there are just so many horses who want to be forward. And so I guess we'll just see who breaks and then who's on a real send.
Kripins Voyage, the number 1, goes out for such a good trainer in Josie Carroll. And let's just go back to her last race, the Fury, going 7/8 of a mile. She beat 3 of these horses. She's 3 wide in between horses in the white stripe, and she grinds this down. I have a feeling that 7/8 of a mile is short for her. I think she wants to go longer. She draws a great inside post position, and she gets a setup this time around. There are just so many things to like about her.
Yeah, she just makes a lot of sense in this race. She just got up in that spot that we just watched right there, but I still thought she ran well, Dan. That's 2 times they've sprinted her now off the layoff as a 3-year-old. She ran well in both of those races, and now she gets, the added distance that it feels like she really wants. She just makes a ton of sense in here.
Pilot Episode is the number 2, and I have to admit, I did a double take when I saw that it was Shug McGahee sending a maiden up to Woodbine to run on synthetic for the first time against winners in the $500,000 Woodbine Oaks. Shug must think a lot of this horse, or the owners do.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's probably true. If nothing else, and listen, this is a hard horse, I think, to make, a real case for in here. If nothing else, this is what she is bred to do. She's by Speightstown, her dam, 4 wins in her career, all synthetic routes. She was a stakes winner, her first full bold script, grade 1 placed, a stakes winner on synthetic. This filly is bred for this. She has speed. She's going to have to take a huge step forward in here, but it's just really interesting that she's in this race.
Bayou Bell is the number 3, and she put it all together last time out. They put blinkers back on Bayou Bell. Bayou Bell went coast to coast under Luis Contreras. 72 Beyer speed figure, career best. She's going to have to do a lot better than that in this race, but it's nice to know she's going the right way. Looking at the horses she beat, however, in this field, it was not a strong group.
No, it wasn't, but she, did what she had to do there. That was a very easy win, and it was certainly a step in the right direction. And if you like her, she's going to be a price in this race.
November Fog, the number 4, is stakes placed on synthetic, going 1.1 miles, and will now make her 3rd run of the year. It's possible she's cycling back into form. That being said, her 2 Beyer speed figures this year pale in comparison to that promising 79 she earned to close out her juvenile campaign. Makes me wonder if she's gotten any better. The horse that beat her last time is okay, however. She came back to win with an 80 Beyer.
Yeah, I didn't think her last race was too bad. I'll give her a pass for the turf run off the layoff. 2 starts back. She didn't run terrible last time. It just happened not to be a fast race. I guess the biggest question for her is, what kind of trip can she get in here, Dan? It feels like she wants to be forward in this race, and there's a ton of other speed in here.
One of the X factors in here is the number 5, A Fleet Catherine. Not only is she running on synthetic for the first time after 2 turf wins, but she's also stretching out. Both of those victories, including the one we're going to see right now, came at 7/8 of a mile. I like the way she finishes off her races. We see her angling to the outside right now. She's in the green and yellow, and she's going to just gut this one out. Once she changes leads, you see it as just a cavalry charge to the wire, but this filly just keeps on going.
She does just keep coming, and she will eventually get there. Listen, if I'm being honest, I didn't love this performance from her, but boy, she was dead game to get it done. We'll see if she stretches out, and we'll see if she handles the surface, which I guess there are some things to like about her.
Mizzenbo turned back in the Fury last time out, and I wonder if it was the turn back in distance. And I don't really think the 7/8 is a problem for her. I think it might have been the synthetic. She did some good work at Tampa Bay Downs, some good work at Churchill Downs, and last time out she just stalked outside and couldn't quicken with the top ones when they turned for home. Maybe stretching out she shows a bit more speed, but she has to prove to me that she's better on synthetic on dirt. I think she's better on dirt right now.
Yeah, that would be my question as well. Her last race wasn't terrible. And listen, you know, if you just want to go strictly by speed figures, it's the fastest race she's ever run. So maybe she will handle it. The added distance, I think, is supposed to be good for her. I couldn't convince myself that she was good enough, but she's mildly interested in here.
I think the 7 Merveilleux is very, very dangerous. Getting blinkers for the first time. She's multiple stakes placed around 2 turns. You get the feeling in watching her run that 1 1/8 is not going to be an issue. In the Celine last time out, she kind of took the overland route. I don't think she was embarrassed. She has figures and she's going to get a setup. So this is a filly that I could certainly see using somewhere.
Yeah, I can see using this horse too. A little bit of class relief here. She ran fine last time. I'm not sure what the blinker change is about here. You certainly don't want her to get too involved in what could be a fast pace, but she looks tactical to me. There could be a really good trip coming for her.
Lasting Union, dropped in class, stretched out around 2 turns, and has just been off to the races in 2 races for Michael Matz. Let's watch the last race at Delaware. Not a strong field at all, but this race is over right here, and it's been over already for a furlong and a half. She goes on to win by 12 lengths with an 87 Beyer speed figure. The runner-up came back to win a minor race in her very next start. I think the issue here is obviously surface. You and I think, always take sort of a negative view about horses that run well on dirt and try synthetic for the first time. We prefer it the other way around. And the great thing about Formulator is now you can really get detailed sire stacks. Union Rags underperforms on turf and synthetic. I think Lasting Union has a lot of ability. I think the distance is okay and she has good tactical speed. It's all about price. If she's the favorite, I probably have to change my pick.
Yeah, I couldn't take a short price on her. Listen, I think she's run well in her last 2 starts. She's not my kind of horse, Dan. If she keeps it going, you know, maybe she factors in here, but I couldn't bet this horse at a short price.
Just Leave It Alone ran a giant race at a giant price with blinkers on in the Fury. And I think right after that race, you're looking at her performance and you're like, well, how good could the Fury be? She's 1,000,000 to 1. She's fighting good horses like Kripins Voyage all the way down to the wire. Well, this is how good it was. She came right back at her next start. Okay, she wasn't 65 to 1. She's 7 to 5 against maidens, but she gets it done and she kind of backs the fig up a little bit. Makes me think the Fury is a little bit better than first glance.
Yeah, I think it did sort of flatter that race because she did run really well in the Fury, sort of out of nowhere. And then she came back and she got it done. If I'm being honest, then I wasn't as impressed with the maiden win last time as I was in the Fury, but she still did what she had to do.
Infinite Patience was the pride of Hastings Park as a 2-year-old. Now that's on dirt in Western Canada. She won her first 5 starts like a good thing. And something tells me this has been the plan ever since they placed her in bubble wrap over the winter. They sprinted her once in the Fury. She showed speed. I was a little disappointed in her synthetic debut that she couldn't get away from Just Leave It Alone on the turn, but she fought on okay to be third. She should be sharper second back. I'm not worried about the distance, but this post position coupled with the presence of other speeds has to be giving agita to the connections.
Yeah, that's the real problem. I mean, she did run well last time, and there's really nothing to knock about her form. But post 10, as a horse who wants to be on the lead with a ton of other speed to her inside, it just feels like this is not setting up the way that her connections probably want it to. This filly's pretty good, though.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Woodbine Oaks. 10 pretty good fillies lining up for 500,000. I think Kripins Voyage, your top selection's the horse to beat. Lasting Union, I kind of agree with you, is usually not my kind of a horse. I think maybe she'll drift up a little bit, I'm hoping, off of her morning line odds. But you're going 1, 2, 5, and 8. I'm going 8, 1, 10, and 7. I think Kripins Voyage is going to trip out here and is going to appreciate the distance.
Yeah, I mean, she just makes a lot of sense. I won't be surprised when she's the favorite at post time, Dan, but she just makes a ton of sense to me. I threw Shug's horse in there underneath. It's a big ask. It's just very interesting that this filly's up here.
It's the $500,000 Woodbine Oaks, race number 10 at beautiful Woodbine on Saturday, and it has an approximate post time of 5:57 Eastern. Good luck.